Hello, gentlemen, barbarians, savages, Rooster here. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the brown belts. Okay? Now, the brown belt is a big step. As you know, anybody that's taken Kung Fu or Taekwondo, Karate, or Jiu-Jitsu, it takes about as long to do brown belt as it does to do all the belts underneath it. And you don't really learn any really good offensive tactics at all until you get to brown belt. And that's what brown belt's going to be all about. It's going to be about being an offensive MGTOW. Okay? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the independence that you need. At this point, you're going to try to get your social, societal independence and legal independence. Now, why do you want that at this point? You want all your food, shelter, clothing, energy, communications, and transportation. You want to own all that stuff. And why do I say that? It's very, very simple. If you look at the people out there that are in MGTOW, the people that don't show their face, the people that don't, have the robotic voices and stuff like that, and then you look at me. Okay, I'm past the blue belt level. I'm past the brown belt level. They can't touch me, because what's going to happen is once you get offensive, they're going to get offensive. The gynocentric system is going to come after you. Your gynocentric bosses, the gynocentric government, whatever, they're going to come after you, and you have to attack from a point of confidence and superiority. You can't attack when you're still weak. You look at Sandman, he does all this great content, but the dude's still got a job. Okay? He's still young. He's not off the grid. So people can find out where he lives and stuff like that, see his face or whatever, and they can shut him down. That's how the world works, gentlemen. They will shut you down. I am not worried about it. Here's my face. Come to my house. I'll meet you on the porch with my freaking shotgun. We can have a conversation as long as I have bullets. Okay? You can't take my food. I can't piss some lady off who's watching this video at her house one day or at the office and say, I know a lady my friend works at Consumers Power. We're going to get this guy's name and we're going to shut his heat off, or we're going to shut his electricity off, or we're going to send him a fake bill for $50,000 or whatever, and we're gonna crush this guy. That's how the world works, gentlemen. When you start saying stuff like we're saying in these MGTOW videos, the gynocentric system doesn't like that. They like the status quo. Remember, they're the herd, and they're going to try to bring the strong down. So that's why I say, at the very least, be at the point where you have your own food, your own shelter paid for, energy, communications, and transportation paid for. So no one can take that stuff away from you. They can still put you in jail. They can still do a lot of stuff to you. They can still fuck with you, man, because they have armies, they have police officers, they have ways that they can get to you, but they can't really take away your fundamentals, right? So that's where we're at brown belt. Now let's get offensive. Yeah, man. Get fucking offensive on these bitches. Okay. As a brown belt, there's basically 3 categories that we're going to talk about. Okay, so think of these 3 categories of MGTOW at the brown belt level. You have your MRAs, and people say, "Oh, MRAs, MGTOWs are different." MRAs are very important to the MGTOW movement. Don't ever think that they're not. Okay, you have your change agents. Okay. Your change agents are the pillars, the owners, business owners, lawyers, judges, people that are in the top of their field, okay? Then you got your assassins, ninjas, and gunslingers. And that's blue collar, works for a big corporation, maybe he works for GE, maybe he works for Ford, Chrysler, maybe he works for Boeing, whatever. He's in a big company, middle management. If he's a MGTOW and he's at the brown belt level, he can be our assassin, ninja, gunslinger. And I'll talk about those three categories: MRAs, change agents, and our assassins. Okay? Now, in each category, what do these guys do for us? Well, our MRAs are kind of attached to the media. Okay? We need these guys because they help us out with the media. They help us out with writing books to get the information out there. They help us out like on YouTube. They help us out with the legal system and the media. They get involved with domestic violence laws, divorce courts, and child support laws. These are all very important to changing the gynocentric system. Okay? Family court laws, laws about the draft and the military, consent laws that are coming out, the MRAs, and man spreading, marriage laws and tax laws. Okay, all of these things are things that the MRAs are working on. Okay, and they're using the old adage that the pen is mightier than the sword. And it is, in general. In order to change the system, which is what we're going to try to do, or what we are trying to do, or make it more equal, or make it, more male-oriented or male-fair, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to use the pen and the sword. So those MRAs are really important aspects. And I'm not going to talk too much about MRAs because MRAs are men going their own way, but they have kind of that justice chip on their shoulder. They're like, yeah, I'm going to go my own way, but I'm going to fucking change some laws on the way and try to make this society that I live in and that my children, my sons live in be more fair if I can, which it's hard. Okay. Second thing that I want to talk about is change agents. And I think change agents are what you're going to see in the future as the most important people in the MGTOW movement. Because as laws come down that require more women to be forced into the workplace, these people that are business owners, shop owners, company owners, steel plant owners, factory owners, whatever, if they're MGTOW, if they're watching this, if you own a steel plant and you're watching this video and you're a MGTOW and you're sick of the women that are working for you, or you're having quotas forced upon you that you have to hire 3 women this year and you don't have any place to put these women, okay, hopefully the MRAs are working on that to get that law taken care of. But I'm going to tell you guys offensive tactics as a change agent that you can do to stop this stuff from happening. And I've got a laundry list of them, and I'm just going to start naming them, and we're going to talk about them, okay? If you're a change agent, you own a company. And if you don't own a company, think about this kind of the same way. I've talked about what women can't stand, and that's discomfort and disgust. Now, at brown belt, I'm going to add a third prong to that. You got discomfort, disgust, and seclusion. Okay, going to add seclusion. Now, why do I say seclusion? Women are 100% herd animals. They really like to be around other women, especially at work. They like to gossip. They like to talk. Okay? When you use the tactic of seclusion and separation, and you separate the 5 or 6 women or 10 women that you have working at your company, or you put them off in groups where they have to work entirely with men, they lose all of their social power. They don't have any social power, and they don't have any herd ability. Okay, if you put all those women in your business in your office and put all 10 of them around, I guarantee you within a year you won't have a business anymore, buddy, because they will fucking eat that company from the inside out with gossip and fucking around and Machiavellian tactics, you'll lose that company. So seclusion is very important if you're a business owner. Keep them separate, okay? And I already talked about disgust and discomfort at the blue belt level, but I'm going to go and give you some applied knowledge now. Like I said in all my previous videos, intellectual masturbation and talking about theory is all great, but let's talk about what the fuck can I do offensively, defensively to stop these women from doing what they do to me and get back at them. Well, you're a brown belt now. We're going to get back at them, okay? First off, encourage physical displays of sexual dimorphism. Beards. Women hate beards. Women can't stand beards, but it's not the reason. Oh, it's prickly. Oh, I don't like it. Blah, blah. No. Beards show dominance. Beards show sexual dimorphism. Beards are a demonstration of something that women can't do themselves. They can't grow beards. They can't have facial hair. And if they do, it looks terrible on them. Okay? It's a demonstration that you are not another woman. I am not like you, lady. I am a grown ass fucking man, and I'm right here in front of you, and my physical presence bothers you. That's too bad, because I have a right to be as big as I am and to have the space that I'm in. Okay? So promote that. Have Beardvember, November, where everybody grows beard. You know, have things where you have beard contests and stuff like that at the workplace. Okay, to create discomfort and disgust in the women that work there. Okay. Temperature controls, discomfort. Make sure in the wintertime that it's cold. Don't have a policy that you don't allow heaters under people's desks, so that they can't wear dresses. They can't wear their high heels. Get them so that they have to wear boots for safety. Can't have a heater under your desk, sweetie. I'm sorry, that's a fire hazard. What if you left that on at the end of the night and you burn the place down? We can't have that under your desk for insurance purposes. Well, now I can't wear my pretty dress. I can't wear my pretty dress to work because now my feet and legs will get cold because it's so cold in here. Too fucking bad. Buy yourself some fucking jeans. You know what? Buy yourself some work pants and some work boots. We're here to work, okay? In the summer, make sure it's hot, okay? Hot outside, hot inside. The guys that are working outside, the guys that are in the shop, okay? The women that are in the shop, make them work in the shop. Make them do a tour in the shop. You have to do at least one day out on the floor, taking notes to figure out what's going out on the floor. You have to get dirty, greasy. You have to get the oil in your hair. Okay? They're not going to want to wear makeup when it's hot. That shit's going to stream down their face and get in their eyes, and then they're going to wipe it. Okay? Oh, now I can't look pretty. Now it's not just a show. No, it's not a show. You're here to work, lady. You're not here to spend all your time putting on makeup and flirting with the guys. No. Okay? In the wintertime, it also makes them wrap up. You know, they got to put that big burqa on. They can't show that cleavage and all that stuff. They got to wear a jacket in the office and stuff like that. They don't have any power now. Okay, you're taking away their sexual power. They can't flirt and fuck around with the guys that are going through the office or whatever, right? They're awesome, guys. Write these down. If you own a business, write this stuff down because it is all legal. I'm not going to tell you a single thing here that is against the law. This is all applied science, and you can do it. Okay? Heavy lifting once a month in the job description. Every single person's job description should have some form of heavy lifting. Couches, water containers, cupboards, file cabinets, shelving. Okay? Just for shits and giggles, once a month, move the shit around in the office, move the stuff around and make sure it's on a Saturday. Okay? And it doesn't take a lot of people. You don't have to have everybody come in. But you have But you make sure that women know they have to come in on a Saturday and they're going to have to spend the entire day moving stuff in the office around. Okay? Travel. Right in the job description. Must be prepared to travel at a moment's notice, at least once a week. Everyone is required 20% travel. Need you to go to a customer. Need you to go to a client. Need you to go to a supplier. Need you to go out of town for this. Yeah, okay? And no, you have to go by yourself, which is scary enough for them because that's seclusion. Now they got to travel by yourself. Well, can I take my husband? No, you got to go by yourself. I knew a lady that quit a job because of that, and that was her entire job because she actually thought it was fun for about the first 2 or 3 weeks that she was doing. She used to go around and talk to high schools. She was a high school person that was recruiting for colleges, and she thought it was awesome for about the first week. And then she started getting knocks on her doors at the hotels and stuff like that because guys were finding out that she was traveling alone. Then she got scared. She didn't want to freaking do it anymore. She quit a great job because she's a woman. She can't protect herself. Oh, can I take my husband with me? Sorry, company can't afford to pay for your husband to go. You got to go. Oh, can I take another employee with me? Yeah, Rapey Dave. You can take him. Rapey Dave. Rapey Dave. Rapey Dave. I want to go. I want to stay in a hotel with her. He's going to quit the job. Completely legal. Nothing against the law. People, you're an equal. You have to travel on your own. You have to do it. Okay? Mandatory in your job description. Okay? No mirrors in the bathrooms. Period. Okay? And if I catch you putting on makeup at your desk or at your workstation or whatever, you're going to get in trouble. Okay? No mirrors in the bathroom. They have no way to look at themselves, and the narcissism, they can't do it. Make sure that the bathrooms are very unpleasant. Okay? No air fresheners. Okay? This is one of the biggest ones. I knew a guy, he owned a company, a steel company. Okay? It was one of my first consulting gigs when I was very young. But he had a policy that he only knew about. He told me about it, but this was his policy. This was his father's policy, and they had it for a long time. And they actually used it to weed out people. And he said in the 40 years that his father and him had owned the company, not a single man that was told about this ahead of time had ever used the bathroom. It had all been women. They were told right in their employee indoctrination when they came into the company that this was a customer bathroom right outside the president's office. The president uses the bathroom and customers use the bathroom. No employees are allowed to use this bathroom. And this bathroom was nice, pristine. It was for customers, right? All employees had to use the bathroom at the other end of the building in the back of the shop. It was nasty. It was greasy. It had oil, the old lava soap. They didn't paint the stalls or anything like that. I think one of the toilets was like out in the open, no stall or anything like that. You just had to take a crap like you're in prison. And without fail, women who worked in the office would not walk back. They wouldn't go through the plant because they didn't want the wolf whistles. They didn't want to go back and sit on that crappy toilet. And they would try to use that thing. And he would fire them. He would take them in and fire them. He would see who's there to work, okay, and who's there to not work. And he said to one lady, and this was so funny, he said, why do you use the bathroom? We expressly told you that that's customer bathroom. He says, well, the other one's nasty. He says, yeah, so why didn't you clean it up? He said, it's not, and she said, it's not my job. And he just looked at her and he said, so you would defy a strict company policy that is told to you not to do it. It is definitely not your job to use the nice bathroom, but you wouldn't clean it up, clean up the bad bathroom, make it more presentable. That's not your job. Because you're not here to work. You're here for a freaking show, lady. So get out of here. Okay? Again, disgust and discomfort and seclusion. All three in one, man. No breaks at the same time. No women get to go smoke break, coffee break, lunch break, any of that. Separate all the women on all the shifts so that they do not get to take their breaks at the same time. Mandatory. Women gossip, women talk, women cavort. They make their little plans, and that's how they freaking take your company down. Do not let them talk about anything except work, and do not let them gossip together. Okay? Seclusion. Separate and seclude. Okay? Not against the law. This is one of my favorite ones. A lot of women want jobs for health benefits so that they can have kids. Make sure that you have, all employees, men and women both, 1-year contracts. And you can't hire in as being pregnant. Okay? Now, why 1-year contracts? Because they can't have a kid basically in 1 year. They have to really work at it, you know? And at the end of that year, if they're pregnant already, you just end their contract. And then they have to go take care of their kid themselves. They have to pay for it themselves. They have to pay for the hospital themselves. Or they have to go on that real expensive COBRA insurance that costs like $1,000 a month. Okay? Don't be a sucker. Don't be a sucker for a 25-year-old girl who just got married and wants to come here and says, oh, no, I'm not going to get pregnant. We're not planning on having kids for 5 or 6 years yet. You know, I'll let you know when we're going to have kids. And then 3 months later, she ends up pregnant. Okay, you don't have to worry about it because before she has a kid, her contract's up. You just let her go. Sorry, we don't need you anymore. Completely legal. Is it a dick thing to do? Yeah. Was it a dick thing for her to do? To think that she could use you to pay for her freaking kid? Yeah, it was a dick thing to do. Let her be independent. Let her make her own fucking life raft. Okay? You're not her fucking life raft. So 6 month to 1 year contracts for all employees, and based on performance. Performance based. Performance makes women very fucking nervous and anxious because they don't know if they can perform, because they're playing house, they're playing office, they're playing mommy. Everything that they go into, they start off by playing it. You know, they don't really know how to do anything. Okay. Lunches always from 11 to 1 p.m. or the middle of the shift, so that they can't have their kids over there. You can't leave to go get your kids from school. You can't leave to go get your kids. You have to finish your day out, right? And do 5-hour shifts so that you don't have to have any lunch. If you work from 7 to noon every day, there's no lunch. You don't get to go pick up your kids on my paycheck and then take them home, do whatever, and then come back to work. No. 5-hour shifts are awesome because you have to, for one 15-minute break, no lunch. So you get one 15-minute break, and then when they leave at the end of the day at noon, you take your lunch on your own time. You go get your kids on your own time. You do whatever you need to do. And then you have a second shift that comes in at noon and works till 5, right? Another 5-hour shift. So they come in at noon, and then they work at 5. You don't have to pay them a lunch, okay? And you don't have to worry about their kids or anything like that. No kids show up in the office, no kids to deal with, no daycare, none of that bullshit, okay? Is that a dick thing to do? Yeah. But you know what else is a dick thing to do? To make a law that says you're going to turn my company into a daycare center, okay? That's a dick thing for you to do, to make a law to make my company a fucking daycare center. All right. And I'm specifically talking to our change agent level people, guys that own businesses, guys that own companies. Okay. You guys are the brown belt level that can really make changes for the MGTOW community. Okay. Parties, company parties. Where are we going to have the company party this year? Same place we always do. Toy Chest Strip Club. Landing strip club. What? Having a freaking company party at a strip club? Yeah, it's a bar. It's legal. Anybody can go there. All you have to do is be 18, right? Drinks are expensive. There's no attention for the female employees at the company party because the strippers are there, and the strippers are way hotter. Nobody's going to bring their freaking wives. Nobody's going to bring their kids to a strip club. Okay? Am I a genius, guys? Yes, I'm a fucking genius. Took me a week to come up with this stuff, but this is what we need to do. Completely legal to have your company party, your Christmas party, your Halloween party at a strip club. It's going to create discomfort, disgust, and seclusion for all the female employees. Who gives a fuck? Guy employees are going to freaking love it, right? Okay? And I already touched on this earlier. Ban makeup, long nails, painted nails, non-functional. It's all fashion. Get rid of it. Sorry, you can't have that. You know, that's a danger. You get those nails caught in the machinery or whatever. We can't have any fake nails or anything like that at the company. No jewelry. Jewelry could get caught in the machinery. Can't have it. Okay. Can't wear your wedding ring at work or whatever. That's a big one. Fucking women hate to take their wedding ring off. That's their little shield, right? That's their little freaking shield that they wear on their finger that protects them from all the single men out there. They have men trained to look at that freaking left hand to see if she's married first. When they had to take that off, that's their little barrier is all broke down. Now they could get hit on freely. And the guy could say, oh, I didn't know you were married. You didn't have a wedding ring on. So she's going to get unwanted attention, right? No skirts, no heels, no perfume, okay? Ban all that stuff in the company policy. Can't have it. This is a workplace. We don't need you in here trying to pick people up. And it's going to take away all of their social game. They have no social viability at this point, right? They just have to work. And it's going to make them quit. And especially if they're a quota baby, where the government is making you hire so many women, this is going to be one great way to get rid of them. Okay? One of my favorites, company uniform. Long sleeve shirt with some Dickies work pants and work boots. Okay? And a ball cap. Okay? No woman can look good like that. You know, they can look cute, but they can't look hot. Okay? They can't look drop dead gorgeous going out to the Waldorf Astoria tonight hot like that. They just look cute. They look like a little tomboy with their ball cap, their long sleeve shirt, their Dickies, khakis, and work boots. Right? Company uniform. Have to wear it. Safety requirements. You know, whatever. Unity. Aren't you a team player? You know, whatever you got to use to get the uniform pushed through. Company uniform. Everybody wears the same color. And, you know, no pinks. You know, make it a dull drab brown or blue or something like that with black pants. So it's nothing that they can ever wear outside. And make sure your logo is like really big, you know. Bright lighting makes women that can't wear makeup. Okay, they're already not able to wear makeup. Okay, and jewelry and all that stuff. And then make the lights in the office fucking bright. It's going to show every wrinkle, every crack. It's going to make them so discomfortable. Okay? It's going to make them uncomfortable. Okay? So just use the discomfort, man, and it's going to make them quit. And it's legal. Okay? Mandatory. Everybody once a month must work weekends, work one day out of the holidays. Okay? And, you know, just like everybody else, you don't get to get off because you're a mommy. You got to work Saturday. You got to work Sunday. If the plant's open on Sunday, you got to work on Sunday. Parking spaces. Have some pink parking spaces. Have them set at the far end. Okay? Far end. So they have to walk through slush. They have to walk through snow, rain. You know, any kind of long, discomfortable walk. Fat women that sit on their butt in the office all day hate to walk. Okay, even that walk in, if it's a 10-minute or a 20-minute walk in the morning, you know, the chance that they're going to be late. They have to get up earlier, which is a pain in the ass because they have to walk so far to get into the office to punch in. Okay, and they're going to hate that. They hate that walk because they hate the exercise. Okay, now the guys that work in the plant, let them park right up close to the punch clock. Okay. You know, if you work in the plant, you get to park up here really close. If you're a woman and you work in the office, you got to park at the far end. Okay? In a lot of places, it's the other way around. Screensavers. Okay? Make sure you have lots of screensavers and calendars with bikini babes, hot-looking chicks. No nudity, because nudity is not allowed anymore because the women can say that it's a hostile environment. But bikinis are perfectly, I mean, I worked in large companies and I had 300 pictures on my screensaver of all bikini babes. And when I left for lunch, when I left at the end of the night, I left that on and it just rolled all night long for the janitors to look at them freaking hot babes. And every time I left my desk for more than 5 minutes, it popped up so that they knew I'm a man. I like bikinis. Doesn't bother me at all. You don't look as good as this lady on my screen, and that creates some kind of anxiety for you. Not my problem. That discomforts you. She's better looking than you. She's not even a real person. She's just a screensaver. Okay? So, that's it. If you own a company, those are the things that you can do. Those are actual, applied tools that you can do. Discomfort, disgust, seclusion. Keep these women from taking over our jobs, from taking over our companies, from destroying your company from the inside, from being forced by the government to hire quota babies to come in and work at your company. I don't want a woman to do this job. My friend Joe is just as qualified. He's been doing it for 20 years. I got to fire him and now hire some woman that doesn't know how to do the job. Okay, well, I'm going to implement all of these policy changes at my company until I don't have any women working here. Okay? All right. So that's the change agents. Okay? You got the MRAs that are dealing with the media and the legal system and helping us change that way, getting the awareness out there, changing the laws. Then you got our change agents, the people that own companies that can do all these things, policies within private companies that repel women from the workplace like freaking roaches. Just get rid of them, man. We don't need them. Okay? Now you got your assassins, your ninjas, and your gunslingers. And these are guys that are workers, maybe middle managers in a big corporation. They're not actual owners and stuff like that. Okay? This goes for general guys out there just dealing, customer service or dealing with women in companies. You come in as a customer, or you come in as a supplier or something like that. You want to use these tools to make sure that women that aren't acting right get fucked over. Okay? And I said it. We're going to fuck them over. They've been fucking us over. We're going to fuck them over. We're going to use the same tools that they use. We're going to use a little different kind of tools, but, yeah. The first thing that you can do as a ninja, assassin, gunslinger, always judge women and always hold them accountable. If they work for you or if you work for them, you always judge them on the strictest you can. Don't let them get away with anything and hold them accountable. Hold their feet to the fire so that they feel the freaking pain. Okay? If you have a female boss, get her job description and read her job description every night until you understand it as well as you understand hers. And when she tries to do scope drift and start getting you, delegate shit to you that's in her job description, you go to her boss. and you just keep sending emails. Hey, you know, Sally is making me do this shit. I think this is her job. This is above my pay grade. I shouldn't be doing this. Wouldn't you rather have me working on this and then insert what's in your job description into that slot? Okay? Judge them, hold them accountable, put a bypass valve around their head, go to their freaking boss. You can do that in customer service. You can do that in a factory. You can do that in an office setting, anything. And if you're just Joe Blow off the street and you're buying a lawnmower and you get a bitchy sales lady who doesn't fucking know her ass from a hole in the ground, write her up. Write her up and send it in. Write it up and send it in. I have blurbs that I send in all the time. NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox. You know, anytime I see a father on television or a child on television or any kind of misandry going on, you know, why is this father always demonstrated or projected or performing the task of an idiot? You know, I understand it's a comedy show, but, you know, couldn't we have something on TV that actually, you know, like Michael Landon, Little House on the Prairie, or Bonanza that shows men as leadership positions and doing the right thing and stuff like that instead of always being the brunt of jokes? I have a Excel spreadsheet that has huge letters. I had to write all those letters once, but now I just freaking cut, paste, send to CBS, bloop, bloop, father, son, bloop, woman acting this way, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I just keep sending the same thing in all the time. And I've gotten responses. They're like, you know, Mister, we understand your concern, and in the future, you know, we'll try to do it. And I know it's all bullshit, but I keep sending it in. If they get enough of them, eventually someone will read it and they'll go, you know, if there's 100 of these in here, that probably means there's 100,000 people that think like this, right? Second thing, okay, judge them, hold them accountable. Second thing, sue them. Sue women. Take them to court. When they do shit wrong, don't give them a pass because they're women. Sue them. Hit them in the pocketbook. Hit them in the money. You know, don't go with the freaking tears and cries and stuff like that. If they do something wrong to you and it's a suable offense, sue them. If they hit your car, sue them. If they're a bad driver, sue them. If they throw something at you and hurt you, sue them. If they take money from you, sue them. If they don't fucking their lease or their rental agreement, sue them. If they don't live up to a property or a business agreement, sue them. Okay? Sue women. Get the point across. And by suing them, our legal system is set up on a history, right? They go back and they look at all the previous cases that have been passed in a certain way, and the more that you win, you know, on the male side of it, the more of a demonstration that creates for future, you know, lawsuits. Okay, precedents is what they call it. If you have 10 lawsuits that were settled this way, it creates a precedent, and then your lawsuit will be settled that way. So if it's a gynocentric solution every time, then your lawsuit's going to get solved in a gynocentric way, okay, which is not going to be good for you. Take them to court, write them up, okay? Discomfort, disgust, seclusion, okay? Now, what else can I talk about? Oh, let's talk about two wonderful offensive people. The first guy is Mr. Sun Tzu, right here, okay? The Art of War. One of the best books, military strategy, ever wrote. I had to read it many, many times. I had to give lectures on it many, many times at the military academy. And I taught some military history for the Navy in my younger years, and I did an entire thing on the Art of War. But basically, the thing in the Art of War that it talks about that goes directly to the MGTOW process is when a small army has to take on a large army. And it's basically guerrilla warfare. The MGTOW population us, we are less than 1%, probably 0.1% of the people on the planet. Now it's growing, more and more awareness is coming. There's so few people in the black belt and the brown belt level that have any capability of doing anything. All we can do is guerrilla warfare, which is little hit and run, hit and run, hit and run, send in letters, make YouTube videos. You know, we're doing little things to pop off little bits of this gynocentric system. But we are in no way in a position to set up an army and go on a great offensive where we take over the world and women become nothing but sex slaves and we run around in our patriarchy and drink each other's blood, right? Like true barbarians. It's not going to happen for a while, guys, unless there's a third world war. So we really should just try to fight for some kind of equality and try to get laws made. Now, so that's from The Art of War. I'd recommend reading it. It's a good read. You know, it's kind of hard unless you're a military strategist. You're not going to understand it, but you have to understand the basics of a small army fighting a very large army, and we have to use guerrilla tactics. Get in and get out quick, or we'll get destroyed. Okay, feminism and the gynocentric system could squash MGTOW if they really put the lawmakers, and if they were really worried about us, they could squash us all immediately. Okay. Now, the other guy that I really like in history is Machiavelli, and there's really three aspects of the Machiavellian system that we can use and understand. But Machiavelli's basic idea is this. A man who is good and only good and moral, or a leader who is only good and moral and only has the ability to do good and moral things, will always be beaten out, overcome, and conquered by a man who has the ability to do good when it's time to do good, and evil when it's time to do evil. Okay? Because a man who can do good and evil not only has two options, but he also understands what the good man is going to do. Because the good man, as his opponent, has no other choice but to do good, righteous, and honorable things. So he knows ahead of time what that guy's going to do. So it's kind of an evil way to think about it, but having the ability to appear good and then at the same time doing evil under the table will get you much further ahead in this world from an attacking standpoint than just doing good. Because if you're just a good guy, everybody knows what you're going to do. If you're in a fight and you punch someone and you knock them out, well, you're the good guy. You're going to stand over them and you're going to wait for them to get up. You're not going to kick them when they're down because you're the good guy. You're not going to jump on them and punch them when they're unconscious because you're the good guy. Okay? Now, if they get up, they stand up and they come back at you again, you'll fight them again and knock them down. Now, if you're a bad guy and you get a lucky punch and you knock somebody unconscious, there's nobody around, and you take a knife out and you stick it in his throat and bleed him out in the middle of the street, you'll never have to deal with that guy again. Right? Or woman again. The other guy who's good may have to deal with that guy again and again and again and again and again. So you understand? Having the ability to do good and evil and not just follow an honorable path puts you ahead. And that's one of the three things that Machiavelli says, okay? A man or a woman, whatever your opponent is, to be either well treated or crushed completely. If you're going to encounter someone, you either don't fight them at all and treat them well and kiss their ass, or you crush them completely. 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 To the point where they cannot revenge themselves. Okay? If you give them lighter injuries and allow them to walk away, they will always have revenge in their minds. Okay? And that's how women are. They will always have revenge. When you're dealing with women, you either treat them well or you crush them completely so that they have no possible way to conduct any revenge on you. That's Machiavelli's first law. Okay? Second law of Machiavelli. Okay? Never avoid going to war. If you are confronted by a female, finish it then, right then. Go with everything that you have right at that point. Surprise attack. Think on your feet. Go after them. Try to get their job. Do whatever you can. Because by not going to war immediately, you're going to postpone it to their advantage. You understand? Be ready for war at all times. And when it comes to you, take the war to them and do not postpone it. Because when you postpone the war or don't fight with them, what they're doing is they're building their case against you. And then when they decide that they are strong enough, they will come to war with you and they will defeat you. Okay? So you have to understand this. Okay? Okay. And the third rule in Machiavelli is unarmed people always lose to armed people. Okay? A peaceful, unarmed army of prophets and sages always loses to the armed army of soldiers. So always be armed, always assume that you're being attacked, always be on the defensive, and always be ready. Okay? Always assume that when you're dealing with a woman, that she is an enemy. Okay? And that she is armed. And you should be armed as well. Okay? So, the art of war, one aspect of it, guerrilla warfare, the small army against the big army. You have to do quick attacks, take the high ground. Okay? Don't over attack or whatever, get yourself stuck, get yourself surrounded by the gynocentric system. And then from Machiavelli's side, when it comes to women, you either treat them well or crush them beyond any retaliation. Crush them to the point where they cannot retaliate. Okay? Never avoid war, because when you avoid war, you're just postponing it to your enemy's advantage. And then third, always be armed. Okay? So, that is all I have for brown belt. If you have any questions, it's down in the comment section. Next one is the top. Black belt, man. We're going to do it. So you guys take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.